It is one of the Jatakas. The number I know.
Uruga
Uraga Jataka.
Jataka.
I missed that.
I can send you the link for the text.
The number.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is great. Hello.
Carmen, how is your back now?
Sorry, I have to unmute.
Oh,
It's day by day because of Corona. I do online groups now, so it's not helping. So
I know you're back.
yes,
Trouble. Is it better?
slowly,
Also.
slowly. Yeah, slowly. I have yoga therapy, so that's helping. So
That's good. Yeah.
that's how.
Exercise is always good. Yeah.
Carmen, is your lower back or upper back?
I have a hernia in my lower back.
See, I have a problem with my lower back too, and
Oh.
exfoliated slightly in the lower back. So my doctor gave me these wonderful exercises that are working very well for me. This is the same doctor that treated Ajahn, our teacher. And he was the exercise. I do them every morning and every evening, every night, and they help so much. Basically, I can describe them to you, but you got to ask your doctor whether it's okay for you to use it.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes. So what you do is lie flat, and then mind at the same time your legs and your back, keeping the back straight, keeping the legs straight, but less than a 45-degree angle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you count 1,000. You lift it, count 1,000, 2 1,000, etc. to 5 1,000. Then you relax back down, and then you breathe out through your mouth, in through your nose, naturally. Still counting 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000 to 5 1,000, and you try to do about 10 sets of those. But ask your doctor first.
But you lay on your tummy, and then
you lay on your back.
Oh, and then you both up,
and you raise up. So if they're flat like this, you raise up the legs part and the upper part. So you're like this. At first, you'll see, oh no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
After a while, you'll be able to do it, and you'll find the muscles around your vertebra will strengthen up a bit.
Good.
And
thank you.
But ask your doctor before you do it. Describe it. Say you're lying flat, and then your legs and your back go up. It's straight. And so this is an excellent exercise, but it may not fit you unless your doctor says so.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. I feel for anybody who's got back pain. I know.
Oh yeah. It's exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, and if I do anything, a lot of bending and cleaning, like around my house, then I feel it in my back, and then I have to rest.
Yeah.
Ajahn already here.
Sarah and Jonathan.
สวัสดีค่ะ Can you hear me?
อาจารย์
ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
think we can start now.
Is there Upanishya Kojara now?
That is the right object for understanding.
Yes,
As you
but
explained.
the truth of it,
Yeah.
what is it's the truth of that object? What is
Yeah.
that? Which is the truth, absolute truth of that object? Right now, the usual, the ordinary object is aramana, but when we talk just about the aramana of Samma Sambuddho, it's much different from the usual appearance of whatever is now appearing. Because what appears now is nimitta of different things, many, many things, and that cannot be the Upanishya Kojara. But when there is the understanding, the truth of it, as no one at all, and understanding every moment, every time, when there is discussion or reading or considering the truth, that will become the Upanishya Kojara, Upanishya Kojara, the object of the Samma Sambuddho, which can be object of anyone who understands the truth of that object as it is, not self or not anything at all. The same thing as before when there is no understanding, but the truth of it begin to show up to the different levels of panya. When it's not yet acquaintance to the object as it is not Upanishya Kojara. But at moment of understand that actually there is no one, there are different realities appearing just one object at a time. The truth of it is that hardness cannot be my leg, my arm, or table and chair. Only that which is hard, beginning to understand the true nature of it as it cannot be anyone because it's conditioned to just arise to be there and then fall away. And that is the object of understanding to develop to be Upanishya Kojara. So everyone understand one's own understanding, how much is there, even right now, or from morning to now, how many moments of understanding, whatever appears as Kojara or Upanishya Kojara. What Buddha taught must be understood right now as it is, when there is the understanding of what he taught. Not only the word, but the reality of it. So the understanding that all dhammas are anatta develop little by little, even at moment of understanding, even intellectually, about the truth of it right now.
Ajahn, you said in the Vietnam group whether there is a little change in the attitude in daily life when it is realized that each reality is gone and there is nothing left. But I think maybe just for a moment, but the next moment we cling again because clinging is so deeply rooted.
At moment of being kusala, from the development of understanding, little by little, at that moment it is araka, kojara. See, protect one from the wrong attitude or with avijja as before or attachment as before. That's the way the understanding gradually developed to understand the truth that actually that cannot be taken for anything at all, just little by little, from time to time, so one can understand with one's own understanding, not asking anybody how much I understand, but at this very moment. Is it just ordinary kojara, aramana, or is it that which begin to understand the truth by conditions, even thinking, or whatever is kusala, conditioned by the understanding of no self, of Dhamma, little by little. So it arakas any moment when it's there, which is not akusala as before. At any time when there is the understanding of the teachings of the Buddha, it develops to understand that very moment, no matter it is at what level, just thinking about the truth or begin to understand it with direct awareness, unknown, no expectation at all, because all are dhammas which are anatta. Just to understand the truth of reality of that Buddha taught about as no self, so what are they? Whatever appears now is that which he taught to understand the truth. And by understanding from moment to moment, it develops to araka once from akusala. So no one knows better than oneself from morning up to now. Is there any araka kojara or not yet? Because the right understanding is not strong enough. Depends on conditions only. That's the way to have firmer understanding of no self. Just go against the current of ignorance and attachment. No hurry. It's impossible to hurry oneself to understand the object right now as it is, to be the Upanishaya Kojara. At moment when there is understanding, it araka protect ones from having a kusala moment. So in a day, how many moments of araka kojara? It depends on how strong the understanding of the Upanishaya Kojara is there.
We discussed a good example the other day about how when there's wise considering, gradually the understanding understands that no one can control anything, and this is a protection. Araka means protection from just trying to get rid of attachment or anger as usual, but instead understanding it when it arises as not self. So it's a protection from trying to do something, from following one's wrong view and wrong practice as usual, or taking it for one's own attachment or anger. So it's the protection to just understand it as Dhamma at that moment. And so it becomes easier to understand how, without the development of Upanishya Gotra, the development of pariyati, understanding realities that appear now as dhammas, there cannot be the protection from those wrong practices and wrong views and other strong akusala conditioned by not understanding dhammas as they are. So I think it's very helpful.
Can there be araka kojara right now? Only at moment of kusala. That's why the understanding of the kojara, the Samma Sambuddho Aramana, is not strong enough. But when it's strong, at any moment when there is no akusala as before, because of arising together, it depends. It is moment of the araka kojara, which comes from the Upanishya Kojara. It's time for Upanishya to arise to protect, because there is understanding of that object. But it depends on what parami is there, whether it is dana parami or sila parami or whatever, panya parami.
And again, the protection arises or occurs because of the level of understanding. Is that correct?
The understanding is the base for parami. Without parami, there cannot be. Without understanding, there cannot be any parami. So the understanding of what Buddha said about right now, the truth of it, the understanding, begin to understand that that cannot be taken for I, little by little. But for today, from morning up to now, does it protect the moment which, if we don't talk about kusala, what about moment before that? Akusala, unknown all the time. That's why one begins to understand more and more, firmer and firmer, better and better about anatta. See, without the understanding of the truth of reality which appears now, there cannot be the further understanding to letting go the idea of self, but it's so very deeply rooted. That's why without momentary object, but when there is no understanding, we take it for a glass, a table, a chair all the time. Not a moment of understanding that actually, at moment of seeing, there is nothing in it at all. See, but now it's Jonathan, it's Sarah, it's not nothing yet. And it does not appear well enough because it does not appear just one at a time. That's why, based on understanding firmer and firmer on the anattanness, conditioned moment of kusala, no matter what, parami, it can be dana, and there can be understanding even at moment of giving, depending on what condition that moment to motive the motion of giving, with the idea of just everyone is the same, sometimes pleasant, happy, and sometimes unpleasant, happy. Everyone is just the same as Dhamma. No one there at all can condition the moment of giving with understanding. And that is parami because of the understanding of the kojara, that actually there's no one. It is uppa nisya kojara which can protect at moment of kusala. Otherwise,
So in terms of Paramattha Dhamma, so John, when we're
yes,
discussing the Gochara, we're talking about awareness and understanding.
okay, because you see that everyone understands the kojara, but is there the moment of uppanibandha? See, it depends on arakha. When there is the understanding of no self, more and more. What condition uppanipanda kojara? Just understand the upanisya kojara. Is that enough? No need for parami to develop, to be conditioned for the upanipanda kojara. See, that's why it needs parami and has to be based on the understanding of the truth of kojara as no one, no self. But it depends how much it can be conditioned for such and such moment, which is kusala, not akusala. Without understanding, it cannot be arakha kojara or upanibandha or upanisya kojara. There can be dana without understanding. There can be sila without understanding. That cannot be parami. That is not the upanisya kojara. And when there is upanisya kojara, where is it? How can it condition upanibandha without arakha kojara to be parami? Right now, see, there is the understanding of upanisya kojara for sure. But is it the moment of upanibandha kojara enough to condition it? So it needs more kusala. And when it is arakha, it's from akusala, based on understanding the disadvantage, the danger of akusala at different stages. Just understand the advantage without understanding. But no akusala at all. That's why we have to understand what condition what. For example, upanisya kojara. What is it now? Where is it now? What is this moment? Whether it is arakha kojara at moment of understanding to condition more about no self and no one, so that there can be condition for direct awareness. Otherwise, one talks about sati, awareness, but where is the understanding of the nature of it? It has to be Upanishya Gochara, and at that moment it is Arakha Gochara, when there is the Upanibandha Gochara. They have to continue on, not just having Upanishya Gochara. And where is the Arakha from morning up to now? Where is the Parami? Without Parami, can there be the understanding, the penetration of the truth right now? Because the truth is so very, very deep. Even right now, whatever is there, it's not that which has gone so fast, so rapid, and without Panya, uncontrollable. But the understanding does not lose or lost at all. It's not lost, it's there, depending on what conditions are there at that moment to be what kind, what way of kusala, and what is there with panya or not with panya. Otherwise, there must be all the time the panya with kusala. But in life, it's not like that. It can be kusala, even there is understanding intellectually about no one there at all. But right understanding of no one is not there because it's not the direct awareness and understand as the Upanibandha yet. So no one can condition or control the Upanibandha moment at all. No one can condition the direct awareness to understand what is there deeply down there. So very deep, deeper and deeper and deeper. It has to, it needs so many conditions, and Upanishya Gochara is there for sure. Otherwise, there can never be the Upanibandha Gochara. But before that, it needs the Arakha Gochara too. Otherwise, in a day, there must be akusala so much. So how can there be moment of Upandana and Visakha Upasika and so on? Chivaka Kumarapat, they didn't have kusala all day. And even becoming an arahata, no kusala, no akusala, even kriya citta, sometimes with panya and sometimes without panya. Mahakiriya citta, yana sampayutang, or vipayutang. So this moment is proof. It's the proof for all three Gochara. It does mean that it's only word, but it's there now. See, the understanding of these three at this very moment. What is there now? There must be Upanishya Gochara, but how weak or how strong it can arise to protect, to Arakha Chitta, not to go wrong to Akusala, different level, different ways. What is there now? See, not in the book, but it's this moment. Is it useful to consider? Each moment can be understood about what Buddha taught. I cannot hear.
So the test is always at this moment. So
Pardon,
now
please. Again, please.
I'd be interested.
the test is always at this moment. So now sound is heard. So it depends whether the sound is Upanishya Gochara, the object of understanding, or whether it's sound that's heard with ignorance and attachment as usual.
See, even this understanding cannot arise without Upanisya Kojara. But it depends whether at this moment it is the understanding of Upanisya again a little bit so it can be firmer. But understanding is there, or it's there without any understanding. It depends. Only Satipatthana can know. But even so, it's the nimitta of reality, the rupa nimitta or the vedana nimitta, because of understanding the Upanisya Kojara and Araka Kojara and Upanibandha Kojara, not as I anymore, little by little. So many reality has to be understood from moment to moment, clearer and clearer, in order to have less and less attachment to the idea of self. Always there by level of asava, even while one is talking, see? And only panya can begin to eliminate when there is understanding only, but not as whether it is with asankarika or sasankariya or whatever in the book, just to begin to experience clearly with right understanding that without the direct awareness, it cannot appear well. See? So it has to understand any moment by conditions because of the Upanisya Kojara and the Araka at that moment of understanding of kusala. It protects from akusala of any level. And then more kusala, less akusala, there are more conditions we come from moment to moment to be conditioned for even such very weak understanding with direct awareness in the beginning. And the development why it's so very difficult because it has to be so natural and understand what is there, whether there is wrong view, attachment, clinging to what is there as it is. That's why it's not enough just to have understanding of the object, the rupa nimitta, as a reality which arises and falls away. It has to understand the 5 khandhas now which experience that as no one. To be Upanisya Kojara. When any kind of vedana appears like pain, is the Araka Kojara or Upanibandha Kojara, depending on the Upanisya Kojara, how strong it is accumulated. They are all anatta. When it shows up as anatta, it's the way to have less attachment. Or Araka Kojara. See, it's there. No need to think or to say the name or anything. Otherwise, it's not the direct awareness of a reality. And that moment, the object does not appear well.